Good day and welcome to Panorama on the Nigerian Television Authority, NT Maiduguri Zonal Center. Today, we join the global community to mark World Humanitarian Day, a moment dedicated to honor aid workers and reflect on efforts to bring relief and hope to vulnerable populations. Here in the Northeast, the challenges of insurgency and climate change continue to shape the lives of millions, demanding sustained action from government, humanitarian partners, and development agencies. Yet, amidst these daunting realities, interventions have brought rays of resilience, recovery, and renewed hope to affected communities. On this edition of Panorama, our discussion will spotlight the efforts of government alongside partners in bridging gaps between emergency response and sustainable development. Stay with us as we explore how these interventions are reshaping lives and building a pathway to a more resilient Northeast. I am Abubakar Musa. Thank you for joining us. In collaboration with Japan to build strategic partnership and mobilize funding for upgrade and expansion of power transmission infrastructure in the country. This is coming as the Federal Executive Council recently approved counterpart funding of 19 billion naira to catalyze loan funding of $238 million from the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. The loan funding will support the expansion of the national grid with construction of more than 200 kilometers of new double-circuit transmission lines and substations. Already, 3 substations funded by JICA through a $32 million grant are set for inauguration in Apo FCT, Kefi in Nasarawa State, and Apapa area of Lagos State, expected to strengthen supply reliability. Minister of Power Adebayo Adelabu says, in addition, Nigeria is advancing a $190 million renewable energy loan facility supported by the Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, to scale up distributed renewable energy solutions across communities in the country. Federal government expresses appreciation to JICA and the government of Japan for the long-standing support to Nigeria's power sector, recognizing JICA as a reliable partner in advancing the country's energy transition and expanding access to reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity. And still talking energy, Group Chief Executive Officer, NNPC Limited, Bashir Bayo Ojulari, wants joint venture partners to leverage the enabling environment and executive orders of President Bola Tinubu to unlock the untapped potentials of Nigeria's gas resources to advance government's decade of gas. Bashir Bayo Ojulari made this call at the signing of Memorandum of Understanding for Gas Supply Agreement in Abuja for the delivery of 1.29 billion standard cubic feet per day BSCFD of feed gas, described by key stakeholders as a turning point in the federal government's drive in gas exploration and utilization. Lydia Sampson will now tell us more.
In a strategic move to strengthen feed gas supply, NNPC Limited and joint venture partners signed 6 long-term agreements with options for extension in Abuja, a development that aligns with the federal government's Decade of Gas initiative, placing natural gas at the center of Nigeria's industrialization and energy transition agenda.
The enabling environment for business, the desire to support the initiatives of the private sector and businesses is unprecedented. On NNPC side, we are pushing forward and making some adjustment on our side to ensure that we can speed up our ability to fast-track the realization of the benefit of those executive orders. As we sign this agreement today, I believe we now have more people on the table to have constructive dialogues.
It speaks to our strategic foresight, resilience, and our unwavering commitment to secure our place of pride in the global energy market. This is indeed the pride of Nigeria, and we're here today to continue that journey.
Having provided clarity on the enormous potential and impact in changing the gas landscape, it was time to put pen on paper to seal the various agreements. Experts here believe this will help make and showcase Nigeria's resilience, commitment, and testament to what can be done through collaboration. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
State lawmakers in the National Assembly are assuring of needed support to the Nigerian armed forces in the fight against insurgency, banditry, and other criminal activities in the state. The Katsina National Assembly caucus were at the defense headquarters to brief the Chief of Defense Staff on the security situation. Isa Muhammad has more.
The recent spate of attacks on innocent people in Katsina State by bandits prompted the interface between the lawmakers, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Chief of Army Staff to tackle the situation.
We would like to request for additional support and a special attention, to be given to the state.
Why are we here is because our people have confidence in the Nigerian military.
The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, assures the delegation of establishing a battalion in Manufashi to serve that axis.
I promise you I will do my best to make sure that we stabilize the place, inject more soldiers, inject more combat enablers. But we need your support. It's very important because without your support, we can't do anything.
It will be recalled that bandits attacked Gidam Mantau community in Manufashi local government area of Katsina State that led to the death of innocent Nigerians. From Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
Security matters now to tell you that the Benue State House of Assembly has suspended 4 of its members for a period of 3 months following the purported attempt to impeach the Speaker, Hyacinth Andona Dajo. The House resolves that the suspension becomes necessary to serve as a deterrent to other members who may want to denigrate the House in future. Grace Anyalewa Ichekpa completes the story.
The 4 members suspended include Mr. Alfred Bega Mbega Makudi South, Shimawa Emmanuel Vandikia, Siri Ikong Ojutu, and Abu James Umoru of Apa constituencies.
Concerned that barely 3 days after the House adopting resolutions on this matter, on this cause, Honorable Alfred Mbega and 3 others went behind to mobilize other members to cause chaos in the House.
I feel so pained that a member of the leadership of the 10th Assembly will be nursing the ambition of becoming a speaker when there is no problem in this honorable House.
Sergeant, move them out of the chamber.
In another development, the House screened and confirmed 4 commissioner nominees. They are Dr. Yama Otese, Michael Oglegba, Frederick Ikian, and Opi Menase Alumo.
Honorable Yama Otese is confirmed. Michael Oglegba confirmed. Frederick Lange Ikian confirmed. Honorable Opi Alumo Menase confirmed.
Also at plenary, a bill for a law to make provision for the establishment of skills acquisition training centers in the 3 senatorial zones by a member representing Ohimini constituency, Sir Ochekliye Agbo Isaac, with 2 other reports were presented on the floor of the House. In Makudi, Grace Anyalewa, Ichekpa, NTA News.
State government, in collaboration with Network of Civil Society Organizations, has commemorated the World Humanitarian Day with a renewed commitment to service for humanity. The event, held at the Government House, Maiduguri, featured the immortalization of 12 fallen aid workers and the presentation of the Best Humanitarian Governor 2025 award to Governor Babagana Umar Zulum. Mohammed Goni has more on the story.
It was a sober moment when the plaque bearing the names of the 12 slain aid workers was presented to the representative of the UN Humanitarian Coordinator to immortalize their memory. Considering his humanitarian efforts, Governor Bagana Umar Zulum was presented with the Best Humanitarian Governor 2025 award. represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Bukar Tijani. Governor Zulum appreciated organizers for the honor done him, saying state authorities has found partners in providing support to the people of Borno in the last 2 decades.
All of you sitting here and others who have been supporting His Excellency and this administration, either in the humanitarian aspect, the security aspect, kinetic, non-kinetic, or the recovery, have made contributions.
Representative of the UN Humanitarian Coordinator Ibrahim Bari noted the growing attacks on humanitarian facilities in 2024 and 2025, calling for protection of humanitarian aid workers, and also drew attention of the global community to the dwindling support for humanitarian activities in Nigeria. Executive Director, Network of Civil Organization, Bulama Abiso, highlighted the activities carried by the network to include extending emergency support for flood victims. Executive Secretary, Borno State Agency for the Coordination of Sustainable Development, Babakura Maman Gadei, captures the key mandates of the agency, which aligns with the 25-year development framework and 10-year strategic initiative. Guest speaker at the occasion, chairman of the Northeast Civil Society Forum, Ahmed Shehu, dwelt on the theme of this year's commemoration, strengthening global solidarity and empowering local communities, highlighted the security-related challenges aid workers had faced in the Northeast. There were goodwill messages from the INGOs Forum, NEMA, and Borno State Ministry of Women Affairs, declaring support for the renewed efforts to addressing humanitarian challenges. In Maiduguri, Mohamed Goni, NTN.
World Humanitarian Day holds significant importance for Borno State and the Northeast region, which has been severely impacted by insurgency and climate change. Now, joining me to help unpack the humanitarian journey of Borno State, the progress made so far, and the road that still lies ahead, is the Senior Coordination Specialist for Borno State Agency for Coordination of Sustainable Development and Humanitarian Response, Zakaria Tari. Zakaria Tari, good to have you on Panorama this afternoon.
Good to have you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. World Humanitarian Day is a reminder of the sacrifices and efforts of humanitarian workers. How important is this day for Borno State and the Northeast region affected by insurgency and climate change?
Wow. Okay, we're talking, and thank you very much for the question. We're talking about Humanitarian Day. The humanitarian community has been in Borno State for over a decade and a half, and they've been part of Borno State and really assisted Borno State government and the Northeast as a whole in terms of recovery and resettlement. So their role, they played a very, very vital role, so to say, to us. And then if at all there is a state that will celebrate at the highest pitch of humanitarian day, I think is Borno State, because they have been with us and we provide the enabling environment for them to operate. In fact, they're incorporated. We have over 300 NGOs in Borno State, and they're all doing well. So I think the concentration is high, and then the day is very significant to recall what they've been doing to us. So it's very important to us in Borno State.
Oh, it's actually good to hear that. Now, what has the Agency for Humanitarian and Sustainable Development done to help vulnerable communities in the state?
And the agency was first established to ensure that program designs are done in such a way that they meet the needs of the beneficiaries, which are the communities. So the agency was established by His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Omar Zulum, to coordinate humanitarians, because there were a lot of reputation of service deliveries, and then of course there were no results, and a lot of money was being wasted. So what the agency does is to ensure that every organization that is in Borno, comes to Borno, the first point of call is the agency. We look at what you intend to do, what is your budget plan, cost plan, and areas you want to intervene. So with that, we'll be able to guide you as to where to go and where not to go, just to make sure that the service delivery actually meets the needs of the people. And we've also created a subcommittee in each local government, so to say, humanitarian humanitarian committee that follows, monitors, and guides the people on ground who are operating in their respective local government. So we are really supporting the communities to make sure that service delivery really gets to them as at when due.
That's interesting, so to say. Now, how does the agency ensure fair distribution of humanitarian aid and avoid duplication of efforts?
Yeah, this is one of our cardinal role actually in the agency. As I've earlier said, when support comes in, we make sure that what is being given to a community is actually what they need. Because, for instance, if you're coming to a community and you want to sink boreholes, and water is not their problem, you don't have to sink the boreholes here. We tell you where to go and do the boreholes. Some communities don't need schools. Maybe they need just simple agricultural input. So we are able to guide and make sure that duplication does not happen. We have a data center where we can see all the activities on a map, and then we'll be able to say where there are over-response in a particular area and we need to redistribute. We have the database to see who is doing what and where. So with that, we're able to make sure that service delivery meets the communities, and we've been able to eliminate repetition.
It's all right. What does the agency, do to help communities become self-sufficient and less dependent on aids?
Okay, if you're following it, you find that we have a document called, it is designed to ensure durable solutions to the communities. That is to say, we are trying to get the communities to be back on their feet, trying to eliminate dependency as it was in the IDP camps, which were not only centers for criminalities, but they were just hubs for churning out people with the mind of dependency, hands out in the morning, afternoon, evening. Now we've decided to relocate them back to their ancestral homes using the global best practices, and then the people are settled, and then we make sure that no humanitarian reaches out to them, because if we settle them and you still go and give them food, then they are not going to be back on their feet. So we are testing their resiliency, and they are doing very well. Right now we have a document called Durable Solution Strategy. That document is designed to make sure that the Borno State government gives this community what they really need to be on their feet. As the name suggests, durable solutions. We are not going to give you something that lasts for a year or two. We want to give you something that lasts for a very long period of time and then also supports your livelihood.
Okay, in your thinking, Zakaria Tari, what areas do you need more attention from the government and humanitarian partners to build a stronger Northeast region?
Thank you very much. The devastation in the Northeast and Borno State in particular did not follow a particular pattern. It has ravaged communities. And then if we are talking about recovery, different people have different needs for recovery. It's not going to be one capsule that meet the needs of the people. There are communities that need schools, there are those that need agricultural input, like I said, there are those that need road networks. So when you look at it, you find that different communities need different supports. And in view of that, we created a plan, which is the Borno State Development Plan, put into considerations the various needs of the people, and we've been able to prioritize. For the Northeast, I'm sure that the Northeast Development Commission also has a plan. So it is a holistic approach to recovery and resettlement, and it's not just particular areas, because all areas of human endeavors in the Northeast has been devastated.
We appreciate you immensely for sharing your thought with us on Panorama this afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Zakaria Tari there for us, and Zakaria Tari is the Senior Coordination Specialist for Borno State Agency for Coordination of Sustainable Development and Humanitarian Response. Let's take a break at this point. Panorama returns shortly. Back, The funeral rites of the Emir of Zuru in Kebbi State, retired Major General Muhammad Sani Sami Gomu II, has been concluded. Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima led a federal government delegation, while the Sultan of Sokoto led the Traditional and Islamic Council to the funeral.
That was the final moment as the late Emir of Zuru, retired Major General Muhammad Sani Sami Gomo II, was laid to rest. Vice President Kashim Shettima, the Sultan of Sokoto, the Governor of Kebbi State, and the eminent emirs from across the northern region converged on Zuru to pay their last respect to the late Emir.
This is on every person. Our religion says, "Kullu nafsin akbar." Every soul will test death. His Royal Highness has played his part, both within military service and also as an emir.
The late emir's burial ceremony began with the Nigerian army conducting the final salute to the emir, after which it was handed over to his immediate family for the final burial according to Islamic rites.
One thing we'll miss about him is his simplicity and the kind of fatherly role he played for everyone, not just us, his children, but for everybody in Zulu, Kebbi State, and Nigeria.
The late emir will be remembered for championing the campaign against polio, HIV and AIDS, among other killer diseases in the state. The late emir died on the 16th of August 2025 after a brief illness. In Zuru of Kebbi State, Abdul Jalil Muhammad Bawa, NTA News.
Former Super Eagles goalkeeper and captain Peter Fai, who died at the age of 62, was laid to rest Friday evening in Lagos. Friends, family members, ex-internationals, and some members of the Nigerian football fraternity were at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikan Stadium, Lagos, to pay their last respect to the football icon with a valedictory match in his honor. Gift George has the rest of the story.
All started here formally when he wears the colors of Stationary Stores Football Club of Lagos, and so it was a moment of sober reflection as the body of the late former Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai was led into the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Onikan, Lagos for family, friends, and members of the Professional Football Association of Nigeria and other ex-internationals to pay their last respect to the legacy of the late football icon.
It's one of those that deserves to be honored, So we put ourselves together here today to celebrate, one of the most iconic goalkeepers that we ever had in this country.
The line-in state ceremony was held in his honor, which preceded a valedictory football match, which featured members of the Lagos Legends Club and some ex-internationals to celebrate the late goalkeeper.
I've always been a promoter of we celebrating ourselves while we are alive, but unfortunately Peter Rufai, he was a legend, but he's no more today. But what they have come to do to him here today, I think it's a very good one.
Some of his teammates present once again paid glowing tribute to the football legend who played in 2 FIFA World Cups for Nigeria.
Peter came in at a young age from 1981 till 1998, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, come on now, that's a legend.
The kind of understanding that was between me and Rufai and Ike, we are always helping each other.
The late Super Eagles goalkeeper Peter Rufai, who died on July 3rd, 2025, has since been buried in Lagos. Gift George, NTA News.
That's Panorama today from NTA Maiduguri Network Center. From myself, Abubakar Musa, and the whole team is goodbye and see you next time.